Hello, Jon Velie, CEO of OnlineVisas. Welcome to another episode of Immigration Solutions during the coronavirus. Have not told you guys, I alluded to it the other day about somebody close to me that had to test for the coronavirus. It was Saturday. I got a call from my mother. She's 82 years old. Sue Velie, great fighter, has endured a lot of things in her life, strokes, disease, surgeries, all three of those in 1 year once. We talked about it. Hey, get it all done in 1 year and go on, have better years going forward. Hi, John Greer. Good to see you. So anyway, my mom called me with a cough and a fever, and she's 82 and she has COPD, right? That's something that attacks your lungs. So kind of the worst possible scenario in today's environment. So what do, right? So immediately we went and got her and took her to a healthcare facility. Not the best place you want to be, but who else you can ask to do that, right? So Mom and I went down to the urgent care facility here in Norman, Oklahoma, and went in. Everybody had masks on. We wore masks. Luckily, we had some N95 masks to wear, which was a little bit of a relief. But I tell you, opening doors in a medical facility, knowing that probably the people go in there may have COVID-19, not a lot of fun, right? So using my T-shirt to pull the door open, all sorts of things like that. I must have washed my hands 5 times in that doctor's office. Anyway, so there she is. She's short on breath. It was scary. So we went in. They tested her for pneumonia. They tested her for the flu. She came back negative for there, and the doctor said, well, it has to be viral, right? So we're going to test her for COVID-19. They did the test, and it's going to be 5 days to get the answer back. So really brutal. So we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Mom still had the fever the whole time. She still has a cough. They gave us the drug that the president's been talking about, the arthritis drug. They also gave her an inhaler. She's been using the inhaler. She's been able to cough up some stuff and get it out and feeling better. This morning we got the test results back, and she tested negative. So here we are in these days of so many people testing positive. My county in Oklahoma is second in the state in deaths. 1 death less than Oklahoma County, which is by far a massively bigger city. So we are so happy that Sue Thompson Velie has tested negative for the COVID-19. I can tell you it has scared us all, right? Hi, Georgie Bremney, see you out there, and Francesca Gianni and Randy Harris, Derek Currange. Great to see you guys. Yeah, so Mom does not have the coronavirus. My God, it lifted 1,000 pounds of weight off my shoulder. I've yet to know, I guess I know of a couple people that have it, nobody close to me, but I thought for sure this was the first one. We've been waiting, been taking a lot of precautions. We closed our office down. I quit coming to the office. So I'm back in the office, right? Not as beautiful as yesterday sitting on the back deck, but I tell you what, I can get a lot more work done here than at home. It's not my home's fault, but there's a dog to play with and kids to play with, and sitting outside, it's just tougher to work. So glad to be back up here at the office, and very, very relieved to say that my mother has tested negative for COVID-19. So back up here and hoping this is the case. Now, does that mean we're done? No, absolutely not. It's coming. It's coming like a freight train. It's not going to miss us. It's going to get people. And my mom is one of those people right in the worst situation, as is my dad. What was really tough with my parents was having to be isolated from each other. My dad has had a stroke, and while he gets around okay, he can only use one hand, so tough to open a jar of anything, right? Tough to crack open a beer or breaking open a bottle of wine, and you just wouldn't want somebody with COVID-19 to do that for you, would you? So my mom has already opened up a bottle of wine and is having a great afternoon, getting better. So we're really happy about that. I see Salty Thompson, the great rugby coach, is out there, and Sasha Prima Shaw, the Seminole Freedman Friedman is there, Sam Quick, Victoria Doviak, Harrison. Great to hear from all of you guys. We're here talking about immigration solutions during the coronavirus. I've been talking about how happy we are that my mother doesn't have it. Hope you guys are getting similar news, but we know that the trend is definitely the other way. Tough stuff. So a couple things on the immigration front. USCIS put out a positive message today that they're going to reopen on May 4th. Star Wars Day, right? May 4th, to have interviews again unless it gets worse. So that's a good sign. The State Department, as we mentioned yesterday, is asking for individuals in the medical professions to apply directly through them. So they're not closed for those people. And it's H-1B season. So the cap is hit. All the lottery positions have been filled so far. This year was different than others. If you don't know, the H-1B is visas for professionals. Professionals are those jobs that require university degrees. And if you have a degree and the job has a degree, then you can apply for the H-1B. But there's only 85,000 available. You heard me talking about this. Let's lift that. Especially for the medical professionals, let's lift that number and let's take the requirements down to get through this thing. We're going to need more doctors, but right now there are 85,000 available. 65,000 is the general lottery, an additional 20,000 for graduates of U.S. degrees of either master's degree or PhD. So in any case, the cap has come and gone. They're going to have some more available maybe if some things don't go through. So maybe that's an opportunity to see some coming through. But what are we going to do about it? So one of the things that came out were some denials for duplicates. Now, we're very happy that we had 50% of the visa registrations that we put through come through. That's higher than usual. Usually it's been 44%, so we're at 50% for us. I see Mike Williams, Dave Chambers, and Rebecca Bean watching. Thanks for showing up. It's great to see you. So look, 50% is really good, but we got one denial for a duplicate filing. And we asked our client, they said, well, we didn't file another one. We don't know what that is. Well, then we saw a lot of our co-members of the American Immigration Lawyers Association complaining of the same thing. So there's going to be some inquiries into this problem that immigration's had by denying some of these lottery folks based on the duplicates. If you've had that problem, contact us at OnlineVisas.com, set up a strategy session, drop me an email at jon@velielaw.com, VELIELAW.com. Or give us a call, 405-310-4333, or private message me. We'll talk about it. So if you got one of those denials and you didn't duplicate the filing, all may not be lost. Looks like there may be a mistake there. So those are some things happening. Wanted to talk about other things that are going on. What's good is happening out there, right? I mean, I had one of my favorite days ever yesterday. I think, it got beaten today when my mom's coronavirus test came back negative. But yesterday was a Tuesday, and it was a wonderfully warm spring day. And so we have all the kids in the house. The neighbor's kid comes over. We convince the neighbors to come over. So look, we're sheltering in place, but we're next to each other anyway. So we figured if we've gotten it, we've given it to each other by our kids playing. So we came over. We grilled out. We had a couple steaks. We pulled out of the freezer. Chris, my next door neighbor, had some boudin sausage he had frozen that he got in his last trip to New Orleans, and some tuna. Some really excellent, that really great red ahi tuna, and we threw it on the grill. And my friends Scotty and Morgan, they gave us a salt block, right? So we put the salt block on the grill, put some asparagus on that, put all the meat on it. And we just feasted over and over and over for hours. We cracked a couple beers. We had the little chimenea, full with some pinon wood. It was a beautiful, beautiful night. You know what? We wouldn't have done it if we hadn't been isolating in place. It would have been a Tuesday. It would have been a work day. We're kind of in a college area, and the college students, they're fearless. They're down the street. They're playing beer pong. They're cranking their music really late. I feel like a real old person calling it their music, but I don't know, not that into rap. But in any case, a lot of fun, just dealing with those issues. Other things, have you noticed all the musicians that have been going live on Facebook or videoing and putting it on Facebook? My favorite, I think, so far is Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond with, hands washing hands, those sort of things. But lots of great music being played by really great people. I saw on the Today Show an entire orchestra had gotten together and was making music. People are finding ways to keep themselves upbeat and having the best of times. We've been engaging in a lot of texting. I think like Facebook there's everybody, right? So these text lines. My college national championship team at Cal Berkeley, we've been texting each other back and forth. That's been a lot of fun. All of our friends in Oklahoma or in Norman, we've had a big text thing. My office, our big thing to talk about is Joe Exotic and all of that. And on that line, I really saw a great thing on a TikTok where a family was doing dress-up nights for dinner, and all of the members of the family dressed up in different Joe Exotic costumes. There was one of everybody in it. It was just hilarious. Carol Baskin was the mom. The dad was Jeff Finley, the first husband, with tattoos all over his body. He painted himself. They had a cat. They were holding the cat. It was great stuff. So it's fun to see what people are doing to get through this. See some other good folks out there. My good friend Paul Good, Medro, is out there. Dan Fumi, Gerald Ebbink, Stafford Turner. Thanks for turning in. We're talking about immigration solutions during the coronavirus. Some things are starting to lighten up a little bit. Medical professionals are allowed through the consulates. USCIS may be opening its offices as early as May 4th. What we're hoping, if they're going to open their offices May 4th, is will they reinstitute premium processing? That is something that would be very, very helpful. What premium processing is, you file a case in certain cases, you can get processing done in as quick as 15 days. The typical time can be 4 to 7 months, right? So think about that if you have a job offer and that sort of thing. We've been really focusing on the medical profession. Hey, Holly Wynn's out there. Holly, a friend from Vietnam that lives in California, a great hero. She does great work with her people. And Holly, we're talking about the medical profession and helping bring over some nurses and some doctors to help deal with the COVID virus. Really love to talk to you about that. Really, any of you folks that have contact into hospitals and the medical facilities that would like to have doctors and nurses, we have a nice group of doctors, maybe between 5,000 and 10,000 doctors in India, many of which would like to come over here, and we want to help do that. New York is a really interesting place right now, not just because it is being hit the hardest, but under the H-1B visa, which is not eligible for most employers, but is eligible for university employers. So all the university hospitals and other medical facilities can hire H-1Bs right now. And even though premium processing isn't there, maybe we can talk to some congressmen or senators or congresswomen to move through an expedited process to get in doctors. We can get them through the consulates. What we want to do is match the doctors we know, help do the immigration, and get them into work at university health facilities. So if you have any people in that world, please reach out to me. Would love to talk to them about how we can help with that situation and go from there. Also, agriculture workers and under the H2A and laborers under the H2B, the State Department has allowed a waiver for in-person interviews for those folks. We really need people to help, pick the vegetables and crops that we have right now. So we can help there too. If you have anybody that needs that sort of thing, give us a call, private message me, go to OnlineVisas, any of those things. The other thing we can talk about is if you have an immigration visa and it's going to be coming up for renewal, move early. All this stuff is probably going to be delayed for a while. The earliest you can file for a visa is 6 months out, right? So if your visa expires in 6 months, but maybe 7, 8, or 9, start the process now. We can get it together. We'll put it in there for you so that you're not stressing out. Now, if you put it in and it's the same visa, you're going to stay in status until it's decided, or 240 days, whichever comes first, right? So there's actually a deadline, 240 days. Now that's a good long time. It's about 9 months, but these are stressful times. We don't know how long things are going to take, so get out ahead of it if you can. But we're still working, man. I'm here. I'm back in the office. Jason Russell was up here with me. We've been working from home. I'm really, really proud of my team. It's hard to be as efficient. I know I'm not as efficient, but they've been doing a great job on getting their cases out. We had a good day yesterday, and we're doing some other things too. So hope you're having a great April Fool's Day. Hope you didn't fall for any pranks. If you are a fan of my Facebook post, you may have seen the give your best Chewbacca imitation for $100. Call a certain number. That's Yancey Redcorn's number. So if you want to call Yancey and give him your best Chewbacca for $100, I'm sure he'll be glad to pay you that or marry you, whatever is cheaper. I see Jenny Buys back again today. Jenny, it's great to see you. Jerry Jimerson, the great OU football player. We've had a lot of OU football players coming by. That's really fun for me. Every year, Jeff Singill, Joe Miano, Kevin Phillipson. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Jon Velie, CEO of OnlineVisas. We're talking immigration during the COVID virus. What can we do about it? Some solutions, some ideas. I talked about yesterday. I'll say it again today. Things I'd like to see. Let's get rid of the waiting times for green cards for doctors and nurses. They don't make any sense. Just pass a legislation or an executive order, reduce them right now. It's an emergency need. Let's get those off. Right now, nurses used to take 6 months to bring them over here. Now it's 4 years. That doesn't make any sense. Folks from India are waiting up to 20 years for their green cards. Let's let them in now, right? Open it up. If they're coming in the medical profession, if you want to limit to that, I'd love to see it across the board. It doesn't make any sense anyway while we have some arbitrary government number of how many people can come in. It's just crazy to me. But let's do that. Let's lift the H-1B numbers. They lifted the H-2Bs, so they know how to do it, right? Lift the H-1Bs. Let more doctors in. Don't limit those doctors to just working in university hospitals. Let them have a broader discretion on where they can work. Maybe the employer has to have a relationship with the location, but let them move from company A to company B. Figure that out, right? This isn't hard. If government, if you don't know how to do it, call me. I'll tell you. It's pretty simple. It's just language. We can get there. On all that, it's a very, very happy Wednesday for me. My mom doesn't have coronavirus. Really worried since Saturday she did. Hopefully her fever will break soon. She's having a nice glass of wine right now. And really appreciate all of you. Jon Velie, CEO of OnlineVisas. Stay safe, stay healthy, take this thing seriously, get a mask, make a mask, N95 is the way you want to do it, but get anything over. If you're wearing a bandana, I think it might be a good look. Be a lot of fun to see you out there looking like bad guys. Would be awesome. Adam Charlesworth, great to see you. Ed Barber, Brian Shade, great to see you. Talk to you tomorrow. Jon Velie, CEO OnlineVisas. Checking out. See ya.